On to the final part of American Sk8land. This time we're doing all of Classic Mode, but we're doing it differently. We're not going to be doing it the usual way of picking a skater and then going through and then, you know, me showing all the other bullshit. There is only like 7 levels here, and there is, what, 15 skaters to go through? That's a lot of fucking skaters, and we have to go through them because all of them are separate progression with separate unlocks. So, there's that barrel of fun. Also, there's gonna be a few disconnect moments with the audio. The video likes to glitch out a lot. You've been seeing it a few times, but in this one, it definitely wants to have a field day of that shit on the very last part. So, one thing to note is that, all of the pros here have separate stats. They have, you know, their own starting stat point thing. However, they have stat challenges, which means they can upgrade their stats as well. And with Tony and you know, all the other characters, I'm going to be upgrading all their stats to max. So there's that. But you're probably wondering about, you know, the whole me going through and, you know, doing things differently in Classic Mode, apparently. I will tell you that when I'm done grinding for stats right now, because I do want to get Tony more ready to go here. So let's check the stats real quickly. And yeah, look at that. I've upgraded a good bit now, but there's still more to go. So I'm going to go ahead and just up him up a bit more. Even though you won't be seeing him for much longer. But I will go ahead and upgrade all of the stats to full, because it is going to be immensely helpful for what we're up against. Like, if you want to make it through Classic Mode, you kind of do have to get your stat points up to full. So, get them done right now in Hollywood, and then worry about the rest of the shit later on. And yes, this is all I'm doing for the most part. You know, switch that big combo, manual gives you your thing. You can see that by constantly doing it, I'm getting less though, so yeah, I'm getting less the bar filled, so you can't just spam it in like all the time. Also, there's the first disconnect. Don't worry, it doesn't really like lose anything, considering all I'm doing is, you know, really just losing the fact that I have to fucking, you know, reconnect the audio a little bit. It doesn't happen again, I don't think, later on. And not only that, it doesn't really happen on the, in a few of the clips I've recorded. Because I did have to stop recording and re-record again and again, because, oh man, this took me a while. It took me a few hours to actually, like, get this shit done. Mainly because the whole, you know, separate progression thing again. I hate separate progression. I hate fucking dealing with all the skaters one by one, doing the same goals over and over again just to finish the game 100%. I hate fucking doing that. I was never a fan of doing that. I always stood by that I am just the biggest hater of that sort of shit. And I still am. But yeah, for the most part, like, look at that, I've done it. And what I've done is I've beaten the high score, and I got all the score goals done. We didn't get all the skate letters, no the combo letters. You know, we didn't do all the other bullshit like, you know, hitting all the Nas spins on the fucking hydrants and shit. Well, the reason I didn't do that as Tony is because I'm not going to be doing it as Tony. The way I'm doing it and the way it's be different is that even though I can't go into Beverly Hills right now, Tony's not going there. But our next character, Bam, is.
You're rolling at West Coast?
Way to go, Ace!
This is why I didn't choose my own character. Because I am going to be going through and doing at least half the goals as one pro, and then the other half the goals as another pro. This will allow us to essentially, you know, see every skater, including Bam, who never got his fucking chance in story mode apparently. But we get to see all the skaters, and we get to see how they're like and such. And what's weird to me is that Bam feels weird. You won't see it here, but what I mean by this is that compared to every other skater, it feels like he has more, like, lower gravity going on. It feels like his balance is better. It feels like he jumps high. It feels like he's a bit more faster. It feels like his stats are higher than everyone else's, and it's fucking weird, and I don't know why it's like this. What I can really, fucking think of is that Vicarious Visions, they had to add in BAM. They half-assed BAM in so many ways that he is an easier character to play as everyone else. That being said, he still has only one special touchpad button. You might have noticed a little bit that Tony had a special touchpad button, but only one. Bam and all the other pros also only have one button. You, as your, created character, have all three. And you're also faster and jump higher and do shit much better than every pro character here. Your character, with max stats and everything, is better than every pro here, also with max stats. Look at that, nearly done. Don't worry, I will max stat everybody when we get into Beverly Hills. Because after Beverly Hills, I had to stop recording and then get every pro up to that spot of Beverly Hills, 100%, all stats and shit, and then continue on from there. I had to keep doing that shit in order for you to fucking, essentially get your shit, So, this was annoying. And the thing about Beverly Hills is that it kind of requires you to get almost all the goals done. But then everything else after that kind of just wants you to, also you can kind of tell that it's doing that because I didn't notice my name is still on there. Takes a few attempts before I realize that shit, but don't worry. I will stop hitting the buttons there. But yeah, that's going to do it for BAM. We're now in Beverly Hills. And in Beverly Hills, we have a bit more of an increase. Especially on the Sick. The Sick really increases. 300,000. And, we got the skate and the combo layers. We got the tape. The tape is always going to be here as well. And, next thing is 5-0 grind the Wimpy Rail and Nazbin fire hydrants. Really the only challenges that maybe change is like 2 of them. But even then, it's not by much. Like, one goal is going to be do a trick on a gap, and the other goal is going to be hitting a number of things. Like, that's going to be it for the most part. Like, right now, it is not spin this shit, and 5-0 this, or grind this, or whatever. It's mainly going to involve grind stuff. Just letting you know that right now. Anyway, Bob Burnquist here. He is not that great, but, what can you do? When you're kind of the butt of the joke sometimes of this series. Which he kind of is, let's be honest. Like, with Fug fucking 2, he's been kind of treated as such. But, for the most part, like, Bam is okay, Tony's okay, Bob's okay, all the pro skaters are okay. But your created character, your main character, is better than fucking everyone else. And also, I'm just looking around a bit, seeing, what's around a bit. Trying to find the tape a little bit because I was kind of confused on what the tape was. And then I realized, oh, it's going to be up on that building. Got it. So I end my run. Because you can end your run here as well. You can prematurely end the run real quickly in case you think you're done. And for me, when I'm doing this shit, I'll be doing that a few times. I gotta stop pressing those buttons. Anyway. Let's go ahead and just, retry. And by retry, I mean swap characters because I'm now somebody else. Skate, combo, the Nana spin, the 5-0, and the tape. So, The hydrant's right in front of me from the start, so I'll go ahead and take care of that immediately. And I believe we are Ryan? I'm not gonna remember everybody's fucking names, I'm sorry. But, yeah, as you can tell, we're getting all the characters. Except, we could play as Mindy in the GBA game, I believe. But we don't get to play as Mindy here. So, I'm fine with that in a way, because I don't think Mindy ever has a model in this game. It's kind of weird. She's an important character to the story, obviously, but you never really see her in the game, you know? You never really see her as, like, a physical being in this game. You only see her by her character, you know, her fucking drawn version. It's actually kind of funny how in this game, which is better than the GBA game, but not by that much, but it's kind of funny how Mindy just ends up, you know, sort of just being a background character in a sense at the end of the day. Like, she really gets the fucking short end of the stick in the DS game. That being said, though, did get a lot of voice lines, did get a lot of story out of her, and quite frankly, the story in this game is better than Wasteland, so I am fine with that. Would have been nice to play as Mindy, but what can you do? We still got the pros, and quite frankly, I don't even want to be Mindy, because there's already enough characters here. There are so many fucking skaters, and with the separate progression thing going on here, it sucks. And you do get something for doing this shit too. It's not like the GBA game where there's no point to doing every skater. There is a point to doing it here in the DS game, which is why I'm doing it right now. And I had to spend like an hour or two, an hour and a half really, fucking grinding everybody up to this point. So, everybody has max stats now, and, you know, we got all this shit, and I did skip that by accident, but we have to not spin, I'll show you, we have to not spin 4 sets of posts. Now, it's not saying, by the way, I'm gonna fuck things up already, because I've been grinding so much I kind of forgot what I was trying to do here, and I ended up actually completing the combo letters when I shouldn't be. I thought I complete the Nar-Spin thing. No, I don't complete Nar-Spin. I complete the skate letters as well when I shouldn't be. Like, I legitimately have been just... I've been at this for so long, grinding every character up, I accidentally forgot what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing here. So, yeah, I'm thinking, I'll do every goal as a skater, when I realize by the time I get to nearly all the skate letters, wait, I'm not supposed to be doing that. Like, the next skater is supposed to complete all the other shit, not this one. So, yeah, I am sorry for that. However, I will show it does not mean completing, you know, 4 poles here around this big area. No. It is telling you to essentially get all of the gaps of the Nar-Spin shit. Because there's no hydrants here, really. There is these poles, though. And these poles have their own gaps. And those are the sets. The gaps are a set. So, yeah, 4 gaps of posts is what it should be. So, I did fuck up, and I gave my next character less goals to do. That's fine. I'm gonna end my run right now, and we'll just do that. And, it's fine, because I gotta get the tape, I gotta do a 5-0 on another grind, the trolley tracks, and gotta not spin all these posts. So, you know. So, jump cut to me doing the next character now, and now I'm gonna take care of all of this shit that I really, really shouldn't have fucking, you know, been doing this. Fucking Andrew, I believe. Andrew Reynolds. So now we're Tony Trugello. I'm sorry if I'm fucking his name up so much. I am trying here, guys. I'm legitimately trying up his name. Not like we're ever gonna see him again, really, I don't think. I don't think he appears in the later Tony Hawk games. And if he does, I've completely forgotten about him. Anyway, I'll take care of all these posts right now. You know, just showing the fact that these are all for the gaps. See? And then FIFO this. Easy. And now it's time for the tape. And again, I was confused what the tape was, because the camera's a little fucky about this one. But it's actually up there on the wire, except it's around where the building is. And I couldn't really see it at all until I realized I got it, and I was like, wait, it was right there? Again, the whole distancing thing with the objects, plus the camera and everything, it's a little awkward to find this shit. And considering the minimap does not show the tape at all, it makes it difficult to really find the tape, because the camera does not do any justice for finding the shit. Now it's time for Vans. Our next pro is up, and for Vans, you can see the score really hikes the fuck up. We're nearly at the million, and we got the skate, the combo, we got the blunt slut, the spectator handrail, wall plant, the signs, and ticker tape. So now these gap things of Nospin and shit have now changed into get the signs, and that's it. That is all of the special changes. From here on out, it is going to exclusively be 5 score goals, skate, combo, tape, doing a trick over a gap, and then gain all of these sign spots. Usually in one, well, not usually, but sometimes in one combo, usually in, you know, a bunch of areas. So, yeah, this is the rest of the thing, and I really should be stopping right now. I really should be. I should not be continuing. And I do realize I'm doing it again, and I stop. I do hit the end run, and I do stop. It just takes a while for me to realize, oh, I need to fucking stop. As you can see, the wall plants a little awkward. That tape, I was a little confused about how to get beforehand, but I do know how to get, and it does require using a wall ride up to a grind. So, pretty basic shit, honestly. And yeah, end run. So now we gotta be getting the millions. We gotta be hitting the millions of points in a combo. Well, not really in a combo, but just hitting a million in like one combo will do us some good. So yeah, retry, new character, let's go. Skate, combo, wall plant, tape. So, I have nothing else to really say about this. I mean, I've said all I needed to say about these levels, and I've really said all I needed to say about Classic Mode here. Like, it does have a bit of a messy thing to it, like, even with the minimap there, it is confusing to find some of this shit, like I thought it was right there. No, it's in the one area that has had no purpose in this version of the game until finally now. This little transfer area, the K is there, and the A is down there. Because of the BAM mission, I am now just fucked on the leveling of these locations and shit. Because, you know, if it wasn't for the BAM mission, everything was like, you know, pretty obvious with their line and shit. this wouldn't be an issue. Unfortunately, it kind of is. And also, I didn't do the thing, so I have to go back up and get the E. I'll get it in a grind. The combo there is a little awkward, but not too awkward. Not like, you know, a different sort of goal where it was really fucked up. But, yeah, the wall plant's a little awkward. That's all I can really say about this one. The wall plant, the science goal is a little awkward. Everything else is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. And there you go. That's it. So, that's gonna do it for Vans. And we're nearly done now because all we have left is East L.A. and then Alcatraz and then Warehouse. So, I had to, once again, spend another hour or hour and a half get everybody up to speed. However, there was no grind for stats, so it was just an hour, really. It was faster. It did take a while. But, yeah, now you notice, like, I got 1,000,000 points for the 6th score. If like the boxcar gap, like these trick signs, and the tape. So, yeah. Honestly, I really want to like this game. I legitimately do. I want to like this game because this is pretty impressive for a DS game, for the first Tony Hawk DS game, essentially, and I'm happy about it. I really like this. So what's my issue? It's too basic. Like, not in its fucking look. Like, graphically it looks impressive and shit. No. I mean, it looks basic in its goals, in its structure, in its progression. It feels half-assed. And also, I think that might be the first time you've ever seen an acid like an acid sign in this game. Probably not, but I feel like to me it is. Anyway, my main thing here is just get the score. And there isn't much opportunity for a good score here in East L.A., so it was a little bit of a struggle. But as long as you use the big long grinds and you know, don't bail, you should be fine. I will say, even though I use the fucking focus here, I can get through this without using focus at all. I know, it's not that I'm bullshitting here, but as you will see later on, I don't really need focus to complete this shit. It's a nice incentive, it does help out, but I only really need it if the balancing becomes too fucked, you know? Like if the balancing becomes much of a problem, then yes, I will 100% use the fucking focus mode. But in this game, I don't really need it, and it's so out of the way on the touchpad there on the bottom left, when I'm trying to balance the D-pad. Having to switch my thumb over to hit the focus button while trying to balance the D-pad and shit, and then put my thumb back to the D-pad afterwards, and then hope that the touchpad actually registered the fucking hit and didn't like miss it or whatever. Like, with all of that shit going on, it's not really worth it to me to worry about hitting the focus button. Beforehand, while the focus was a little janky there as well, it worked out a lot better because it was right there while I was controlling, you know? All I would have to do is, like, hit a fucking R3 button or whatever, and that was it. That was all I had to do. But in this game, you have to move your thumb away from the fucking method of movement for balancing in order to then hit the button like a good bit down the screen and then have to move my thumb back to the D-pad quickly in like a quick succession of movement. in order for me to manage this shit. It's just awkward. It's just fucking awkward. And also, I am doing a bad job of getting this combo letter right now. That's fine. I get a few attempts. But yeah, a bit of a bad run right now with this shit. I need to not jump. Because if I jump, the game veers me to the left from the jump. Whereas if I don't jump, I can then just hit the grind there. Also, I had to acid drop at the right spot to hit that sign. Because there have been moments where I acid drop where the sign is. And apparently, I'm not where the sign is. And I missed the acid drop sign, despite doing the acid drop on that spot. And I failed the goal there. So, yeah, a little awkward. Make sure to time yourself correctly, I guess, for that shit. But, there you go. That is East L.A. Now it's time for Alcatraz. And the score really jumps up. It was like 1 million here. It's 1.5 million in Alcatraz. The main thing, though, is the other goals, where it does get a little bit difficult on what kind of trick you have to do now for the gap one. But really all it is to do a front flip, I believe. Yeah, front flip over Plead Insanity. That's a glitch there, by the way, with the red line on the gap. And let's trick all 4 of those spots. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do all of the goals that are not score related. And you're probably wondering why. Because you see me trying to do score right now, but then I stop. And you're probably wondering why I stopped. Like, that could have been fine. But you are probably wondering. Because I'm gonna leave the score here to last because of the fact that with this fucking game, also got lucky there, with this fucking game, you do not even need to, like, complete everything. It's weird, because you're probably thinking, like, the goal here to unlock, you know, or unlockable here, which is obviously a cheat code, like a cheat thing. But to unlock it, it is to obviously complete all of Classic Mode. That's how it's usually been, you know? You would get your cheat code for completing 100% a character. And then you would do that for every other character. That is not the case for this game, and I don't know fucking why. I really fucking don't. Because what's really going on here is that instead of, you know, beating the game 100% for a cheat, you just have to unlock Warehouse, and by unlocking Warehouse, you get the cheat. You're probably thinking that's nonsense, that I'm bullshitting you. But I just did like half the goals here. I unlocked Warehouse. And there's the cheat. That's create a skater. That's what the other message was. I showed the bush off before at the end of one of the parts. And now I'm showing the other thing with the create a skater. Create a skater lives. But, yeah. I'm gonna jump cut to me, like, completing with Tony Alva. Because, yes, this is where all the cheats are. This, Alva gives you all the balance cheats, by the way. Lip, rail, and manual. But, that's perfect balance out of the way. But, yeah, the biggest issue is just the fact that, what does that mean for completing all of these other goals? Especially warehouses? I'm not going to reveal it yet until we get to warehouse. But I am going to complete all of these score goals here. because it is a pretty big score goal to complete. And then I'm going to deal with Warehouse after we get all of our cheats, because I did have to record myself, you know, completing at least about 2 goals, I believe, because the amount to unlock is 100% all of these levels to get Alcatraz, and then complete 2 levels in Alcatraz, like 2 goals in Alcatraz, and you get Warehouse, which is like 52 goals, I believe. So, yeah, when you realize that shit, it's like this becomes a fucking joke. Because then all you gotta do is do the easiest of 2, and you got your cheat. And the thing is, oh boy, it's gonna get so stupid. But yeah, I will get my high scores and shit. You look at the top left, you want to know what the highest score is at the end of the fucking thing. I do get the highest score here I've ever gotten in these levels, in this level, I believe. But yeah. And now here's the barrage of all of the cheats as I go to Warehouse. And as we go through this, the audio does desync a few times, so the audio is going to get worse and worse. I'm sorry. And we got Tony mode for beating my character. For beating Tony, we got Giant mode. It doesn't matter what character we beat, it just means that how many we beat, we get the unlockable. I complete BAMs. And I end up with Matrix mode. Now the audio is desynced. Don't worry, I'll resync it later on. Next cheat, we get first person camera. Means exactly what you think it means. Warehouse, I mean new cheat. We get replay cam, which is dumb. Next up we have turbo mode, which makes the game super fast and unplayable. Afterwards, we then get always special, so the bar will always stay on special. Then afterwards, we get Paper Tony. This one's actually really weird. I'll show it off. I won't show it off for every level, but I will show it off. Hoverboard is next. It just means get rid of the wheels on our board. And then it's nearly always ribbon. This one's kind of weird too. I'll show it off. And lastly, I believe this is the last one, Ninja Skater. We'll show off all of this shit later on. But right now, as my created character, or final character to play as, 2 million points, the final one, 1 million for the combo, skate, combo, back for the big spine, get all these Rafter Trick signs up there, and get the tape at the top floor. So, yeah. Now you're noticing that the audio is still distinct. Don't worry, it's on purpose. This actually was on purpose. Also, the big spine backflip thing is weird. It's very picky on what you have to do. You have to do a backflip and then hit the gap with it. So, yeah, it can't be the other way around. So, a bit awkward, but there you go. But, don't worry. I did not fuck up the timing here of the fucking, you know, reorganization of this audio. This is, you know, synced up. It's just not synced up for where it is right now. Because it did fuck up again here. Now it's resynced. Don't worry, you're not missing anything. All you have to do is run around all across these rafters. The bottom part here has no sign. It's all this other shit. Grind all of these to get these signs. The good news is you have to do it in one combo. But if you're up there, you might as well. Also, it will help you with getting the fucking score and the combo thing, because both of those is fucking insane. Now, I did consider, you know, where's the skate? Oh, the E is down there. I missed it. Where the fuck was this? Oh, it's on the hip gap. Okay. And now I have little to no time to work with this. So, I tried to rush it with the combo letters here. That's all I could really do right now. And I did. I did do the combo letters here. Get this, and there you go. Now, I believe that this is all of the pieces that I bought and have put up here now. I don't think the game has put its own pieces here. But, yeah, as you can tell, I'm now trying to get the score. And I did try my best. Unfortunately, even with all of my specials here, even with a whole barrage of different specials to work with and shit, the game didn't grind, and unfortunately I had to land well under both the sick combo and the sick score. You also missed the tape. I'll get the tape soon. But yeah. We're gonna take care of this shit right now. Also, I think some of these scores say Eric, even though you can only have like one name on them. Like a fucking free initial name on it. I might have seen that wrong. But if it says Eric, I mean, that's gotta be an Easter egg. Anyway, secret tape unlocked, and now it's time for us to just take care of the score shit right now. And I do my best to, you know, get this shit going. I use these grinds and all of these gaps and shit. Now, the problem you can obviously tell right off the bat is, it's a big fucking score, and I did not give myself a good start. I mean, these special manuals here all suck, and I did fuck it here. So, not good. Really not good. However, I do manage to give myself the win, because I did start using this shit. Use a single grind special. Maybe get yourself a gap out of it as well if you want, a gap or two. But just keep that shit going. Increase your bar. No focus necessary. Look at that. Keep your shit going. Save your balance. And then just pivot and press the fucking X button, I think it was, over and over again until you're done. Maybe it's a Y button, I forgot. But just keep doing finger flips and half-cap impossibles, and then doing the whole, you know, other shit, until eventually you're done. And with all your effort, you beat the sick score, you beat the sick combo score, and you've 100%ed the game. It's classic mode. What do you get? Fucking nothing. And I went and did it with every skater. There was no point to doing that, but I did it anyway with every skater. Bragging rights, I guess. But man, oh fucking hell, there was no point to doing the warehouse in classic mode.
Oh man, I can't wait to ride that thing.
There was no fucking point. You get everything
You're rolling at West.
by just unlocking warehouse. You never have to do warehouse.
Way to go, Ace!
It's so stupid.
Oh man, I can't wait.
One thing that's interesting is that when you do have warehouse, you can randomize the skate piece
man,
that you have with the L button there.
Hey, wake up.
So that's neat. But yeah, like,
Nice.
fuck you, game. Fuck you. Honestly,
Nice.
honestly,
Now bust this.
you should've
Hey.
left the cheat
Hey,
codes
check
to
it-
when I 100% classic mode for a skater. You should've.
Hey.
Why
Hey, what are you doing?
the fuck did you have it unlocked by just
Way to go.
unlocking warehouse?
All right, stand.
Oh my fucking god.
Nice.
Fuck you, game. So yeah, I upset myself really, but then again, usually these games, you get your cheat codes from doing all the shit, not from just unlocking the last level.
Now.
So
Man, this isn't.
I'm still blaming this game. But there you go. Just showing I did everything. Now it's time for me to show off wireless. Except I can't. Because I don't have a friend for local head-to-head, nor do I have a second DS. And I have no Wi-Fi here. There is no Wi-Fi connection in this room. The sound room where I recorded all of this. It cuts off Wi-Fi. So, yeah. So, we're just not gonna bother. And we're going to head up to the options to use our new cheats. So, I'm gonna show off all of these bit by bit. However, ones that will keep on forever is the balanced ones and always special. Because we know what they are. They're obvious. But I will shuffle the other ones bit by bit, not all of them at once. But, yeah, just get all that shit out of the way. And, yeah, nearly always ribbon is going to be interesting as well.
Oh man, I can't wait to ride.
You're
So,
rolling it West Coast style now.
Great a Skater
You're rolling
makes
it West
all the
Coast-
pros be boxes. Except for your character, everyone else is boxes. Which is interesting. Matrix mode, I believe it's Matrix mode, causes every time you get in the air to, like, go into focus mode in a sense, but not really focus mode. But yeah, it has that going on. Hoverboard will get rid of the wheels. You can tell I have no wheels. And always ribbon will essentially always have this red ribbon line behind you. It cuts off at times, like it only like limits itself to a certain point every time, but you will always have this red line behind you. And yeah, that's about the gist of that one. Next up, just turn off all of our cheats here. Except for, you know, balancing the always special. I'm going to put on tiny mode. I'm going to put on replay cam. And I'm going to put on turbo mode. And why not? I'll keep hoverboard on. We are going to now
Man, I
show
can't wait to.
a very
rolling West
unplayable state. With Tony here, here are the cheats. Tiny cam makes you small, which means that you kind of look like a small black figure because of the cell shading. Replay cam gives you this sort of fixed camera the entire time. It's very awkward and I hate it. And yeah, turbo mode makes the whole entire game go fast, essentially. And it is the entire game. Like, not a joke. It is. Also, you can kind of tell from the sound effects. There are no sound effects. Hoverboard does give rid of your sound effects, essentially. Gives you, like, you know, a hoverboard sort of sound effect instead. Which is kind of cool. But yeah, everything is fast. You're fast, your fucking bullshit's fast, and even the stuff in the level is fast. That car is faster now. So yeah, everything has been increased in speed. That is turbo mode. So now it's time for Giant. I'm gonna just go ahead, turbo mode and shit. But I'm gonna just, you know, put on Giant mode. And, let's see. Yeah, Ninja Skater. I could show Paper Tony as well. I'm gonna show off Ninja Skater first.
Oh man, I can't wait to ride that thing.
And as you can see, Ninja Skater makes everyone here a silhouette.
Hey, what?
They kind of look indistinguishable,
Man, this-
a lot of these guys. Unless they have a hat on or long hair. So,
Oh man, I can't wait.
yeah, let's be me. And, let's go ahead and be Giant fucking silhouette me. This looks so awkward and bad. You get to see, like, oh man, you get to see all the weirdness of this shit. It is cool, though. There is one issue, though. We don't see it for much longer. Because, unfortunately, as soon as I do, like, a grab trick or whatever from here, and I try to pause the game, it crashes. So, jump cut to me just going for the last of the cheats. And the last of the cheats is first person camera. Just, you know, turn off all this other shit. And Paper Tony. So, yeah. Just turn that on. And now, it is time for us to see these last two.
Oh man, I can't wait to ride.
You're rolling.
So you're
it
probably
West
thinking
Coast
of Paper
style now, my
Tony.
friend.
It makes everybody like very
Oh, man,
thin,
I
like
can't-
paper essentially. No. Paper Tony,
Man, this isn't.
I think the point behind this cheat is that it makes the world
You're
around
rolling it
you
West-
look like it's made out of paper. So here's first person. I kinda accidentally kept turbo mode on. I'm sorry. But yeah, here's first person. Here is shitty VR Tony Hawk DS. And yeah, paper, it basically gets rid of all the textures. And it makes it all like a fucking paper model essentially. Really interesting to see, honestly. Makes it look worse, but interesting to see nonetheless. It makes it look more like the Downhill Jam game now on the DS, which I will do, just not right now. And, yeah. That really is it. That really is it. I will turn off the, I'll turn off the fucking first person so that you can properly see, like, that our skater is not a fucking, like, thin piece of paper. But other than that, that is it for this game. So, turn off the fucking turbo mode, please. There it is. Turn it off, thank you. Okay, so
Man, I can't wait.
You're rolling it West.
let's just go ahead and show it off a little bit more. And, yeah. That's it. See? Normal Tony. The whole world's made out of paper. It's just you're normal in it. So it's a bit weird. But, yeah, it's just not a no texture cheat. And that's it. That is all of American Sk8land on DS. So, what are my final thoughts? Well, I like it, but I don't like it that much. It's better than the GBA game. And the story is better than Wasteland. But that is as far as I can go with this, because in comparison to the GBA games, I would say Pro Skater 4 and probably 3 are still better than this game. And the main reason for that is because all of those have more variable goals and did not feel repetitious. It did not feel like I was doing the exact same shit over and over again. It did feel like I was doing different shit for the most part and experiencing different shit. This felt a lot like Fug 1 and 2, where it just became this repetitious, bored shit, where a lot of the goals became very samey, especially in story mode. But the worst part about this one is that it brought back the signs and the graffiti, but it never made a use out of it, really. Outside of Hollywood, did we ever have to sticker slap those fucking signs? Because they were there in every fucking level, including warehouse and such. They were there. But did we ever have to sticker slap them? No, we didn't. Not once. Not in story mode, not in classic mode. The signs had no purpose. And neither did graffiti, because outside of Hollywood and East L.A., the graffiti also had no purpose. So, it feels like Vicarious Visions wanted to also add in all these things to the GBA games, but they just, much like fucking Activision, they half-assed it so hard on utilizing that shit that you almost end up forgetting it exists. Like, Neversoft, you did your best with Wasteland, but fuck, the story was horrible, and the goals were not fun, really. And neither was Classic Mode. Classic Mode fucking sucked in that one. Classic Mode sucked in this one, too. I think the one consistency with American Sk8land and Wasteland is Classic Mode just fucking sucked here. Classic Mode was bad. But yeah, that is all of Sk8land, and that is, in essence, the end of the original gameplay of the Tony Hawk games, because after this, we have Project 8, and then Proving Ground and such, and all of those games used a new engine and such. They were very different games compared to this sort of game. They were games that were trying to be more a competitor to Skate, more of a realistic skateboarding game to compete with Skate, which wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna fucking happen. But yeah, honestly, I did not mind going through this, and I kind of enjoyed it. However, there were things I didn't like about it, and it's, to me, not that great a start for the DS games of this. And to be fair, I don't know if they'll be able to find a good DS Tony Hawk game. This might be the best one, honestly. The next ones might be shit, because this is, like, where the downfall of Tony Hawk begins, unfortunately. So, the DS games might get worse. I do know that fucking Downhill Jam is so goddamn horrible with, like, the textures and shit. And we've played Motion. And Motion was the last DS game. So we know for a fact that it fucking drops. It really fucking drops. Because Motion is the worst Tony Hawk game I've ever played in my life. But we're not going to be worrying about that for now. Will I end up doing Project 8 and Proving Ground and such? Yes, I will. Will I end up doing Shred and Ride? Yes, I will. Will I end up doing it next time? No. Because I want to give this gameplay, this old engine and such, this old Tony Hawk-like sort of thing, a nice passing through, essentially. And there were the spin-offs. There were the O2 brand stuff like Matt Hoffman and such. Which I also like Matt Hoffman. I think that one's a decent series to me. But then there came 1+2. And Vicarious Visions also made that. And they kind of died to make the Diablo games now as a support team. Which really sucks. I really hope they come back. I really hope they can rebuild themselves, but I don't know if it'll be the same Vicarious Visions as it was beforehand, because they got rid of a lot of their team. But we'll see what happens. As of right now, that is definitely gonna do it for this Let's Play. Next time, honestly, either I will do 1+2, or we'll do one of the spin-offs, and we'll end up back on the PS1 for a bit, for like Matt Hoffman or something. I don't know what I'll be doing next time, but I want you to know right now, we're not doing Proving Ground and Project 8 for quite a while. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all next time for a new Let's Play.